channel is primarily known for your CAT exam and MBA related answers. This video will help you understand how to curate a strategy for your CAT 2022 preparation and how to go about facing a lot of other challenges that you might have. You might be a repeater, you might be a working professional, a fresher, be it anything. This video is going to help you lay out a plan for the next couple of months. So let's first of all start with the 4 phases that are there from now onward till your November. The first phase, that is April to May month, is called the wavy phase. At least that's what I would like to call it, because if you're still in college, then you might have your exams going on, and if you are a working professional or a repeater, then you might have some unsettled dust. For example, you might have recently switched your job, you might have recently gone through an appraisal process, or if you're a repeater, you might just not be feeling like starting. So this is a time period when majority of the aspirants feel down or feel demotivated because there are a lot of other commitments in their life along with CAT preparation. So a simple advice I have here is, first of all, to take things lightly. Don't worry, there will come a time period, and we'll touch upon it, wherein you'll be able to compensate for the time that you're not able to give to your CAT preparation right now. There's a comment as well which was posted by Samdarya and a couple of others that if I start right now, am I too late? I have this guilt that I've started pretty late. You're not late at all. If you start right now, you'll be easily able to crack this exam with a very good percentile. You just need the right plan. The first advice I have here is to not start off with any chapter that requires more than 3 days to finish it under the quant section. There are 2 chapters which are very overwhelming and they require a minimum of 15 days to cover them in entirety. That's geometry and number system. Now, if you are starting off with either of them, you won't be able to do them justice given that you have other commitments on the table. So right now, pick up every other chapter, set a timeline of finishing each chapter in 3 days, and do this with every chapter except these 2. The way you are supposed to solve questions of all the other chapters is, first of all, you pick up the easy questions or the level of difficulty 1. You don't have to pick up any difficulty level right now. This is the time to build familiarity with each and every type and each and every concept. This is the perfect time to understand the pattern of the exam and to get used to taking mocks. Now, I do understand that a lot of you might feel uncomfortable right now and you'll be like, I don't want to invest in a test series right away. Well, I do have an innovative solution for that. Unacademy Championship is a series of quizzes that are being conducted. The first one is going to take place on 24th of April from 12:30 to 2:30. It's a 2-hour paper, 66 questions, very similar to the pattern of the CAT exam. And every person who is preparing for the CAT is going to benchmark themselves against everyone else. So you not only get to see your standing, but because there is an analysis that will follow in the next 3 days, you will also be able to see where you made the mistakes and what are the topics in which you did not feel very comfortable or you took a lot of your time. So you can tweak your strategy going forward. I'll put the link in the description, but I would highly recommend you to at least invest your time in the workshop. So before this test on 24th, they're going to be conducting a workshop for free on 21st, 22nd, 23rd, wherein they'll brush up your concepts. One of the best part is that this test is absolutely free of cost. So anyone can register for it, anyone can take it. And of course, the top rankers are going to get some MacBooks and good gifts as well, which is a plus. But clearing your concepts is the biggest benefit that you can take at this point to build a strong foundation. If you're not able to understand anything using the books that you're using or using the material that's out there, YouTube videos can act as a wonderful resource. During my time, I did not understand geometry very well, so I used free videos on YouTube to understand those concepts. There's a host of material out there, please do make use of them. Once you know those concepts, when you try the questions, you might encounter a situation when you're not able to solve a question. Please don't get disheartened. It's okay, you are just starting off. You may not know a lot of things. The point is to try your best to solve a question, spend some time over it, but if you're not able to solve it, it is recommended that you look at the solution and you try understanding how it was to be solved and then derive whatever the solution is, the formula is, any trick that you've learned out of it, and write it in a book called Formula Book. Now, I've already created a video on Formula Book. I'm going to read a comment. It's by Akash. He said that sometimes I'm not able to remember the concept that I've studied, let's say last month. How do I make sure that it stays with me? The simple method of doing that is by revising whatever you've studied till now every weekend. When I used to prepare, I noted every single formula, concept, trick in that formula book, and then every weekend I not only revise what I studied throughout that week, I also revise what I studied in the previous weeks. So in a sense, if my formula book was filled to this level, I would revise the entire formula book till this level. If the next week I added some more formulas and it became this much, I would revise the entire formula book again. So it's a repetitive process that you end up carrying every weekend, and that ensures that you don't forget any of the concepts. Now we have discussed the concepts, the formula book, and the familiarity. Till now, the strategy has been same for every single person. But someone who is a repeater will only be the exceptional case here, wherein a repeater can actually move 2 or 3 months in advance. Everyone else will try covering their concepts by the end of July, whereas a repeater can actually complete their syllabus or brush up their syllabus by the end of May itself, so that the only focus is on mock taking and nothing else. Other than that, when we move to June or July bit, the strategy will become the same for every single person. June and July period is what I like to call as the compensatory period. If you are a fresher, this is the most wonderful time for you to compensate for the time that you might have lost because of your exams. Similarly, if you are a working professional, no doubt you might not have summer vacation, but at the same time, you can get into that mindset of not putting in so much effort at your work and trying to deliver the same on the CAT exam. A piece of advice that I have here for freshers is that you might consider summer vacation as a great time to build your profile. You might want to do an internship or do some extracurricular activities. Well, no doubt it is a good time, but not everybody can manage CAT preparation as well with other things. So if you don't feel comfortable with, let's say, quants, like a lot of people mentioned that they were not strong in the quant section, please don't overburden yourself with building a strong profile. That's something that you can also do after the CAT exam had taken place. I in fact did an internship after my CAT exam, or in my first or second year, did not focus a lot in this summer break on doing an internship. I invested this time instead on CAT preparation and tried to strongly build my geometry and number system. So if you want to start off these months with a bang, I would say go ahead and start with geometry and number system. Once you have completed them, at least the basic part, you will feel so comfortable with the CAT pattern that when you start attempting the questions in the quant section, you won't be dreading them anymore. You'll at least be able to recognize them. So it's critical that by the end of June or July, you are done with these two chapters for sure. The idea behind these 2 months, June and July, is to cover your basics entirely. If there is anything left, this is the time to put in the effort and try keeping July as the deadline for your basics. Along with that, I would also recommend you to take 3 mocks in each of these months. Now at this time, you could either take some free mock tests, which I'll be mentioning in a couple of other videos as well, or you could also take a mock test series. A lot of them will start getting available at that point of time. Please do make sure that you don't miss out on the revision element, and also that you have to put a lot of extra hours per day during these 2 months. Honestly, if I was to look back at my journey, I believe these are those 2 months along with the October month, which I'll be highlighting why it's important, but these are those 2 months which make or break your exam percentile. These are the months when either people get relaxed or they become super charged up to change their entire scene of CAT preparation. So make sure that you utilize them well. A small tiny bit which constitutes the third phase is the August month. This is a month which is pretty sweet. I like to call it the touch-up month, wherein you give the final touch-up to your CAT preparation. This is a month wherein you would want to revisit some of your chapters wherein you don't feel very comfortable, or if you haven't completed your syllabus, you might want to give yourself that final push and complete them. This is also a month wherein you are going to focus on taking more mocks, either 3 or 4 mocks in this month, and you're going to not only analyze them, but try identifying what are your strength areas and what are your weaker areas. From this month onward, all you're going to focus on is building your strengths and working on your weaknesses. And from now onward, you're also going to be working on your speed. Till now, we were just covering the basics, understanding the concepts. But now you have to work on speed and try understanding how to quickly solve the questions. Now for that, you can revisit some of the Vedic math tricks that you might have studied, or calculation tricks as well. But if you haven't, then this is a good time for you to pick up Vedic maths and practice them. 1 month is in itself a lot. So if you start in August beginning, by the end of August, you will be thorough with Vedic math tricks and you'll be able to build your calculation speed it going forward. Along with that, this is also the month when you start practicing LOD2. So when I said that you have to build your strengths and work on your weaknesses, for building your strengths, you can start solving LOD2 of the chapters in which you feel very comfortable. And in case of your weaknesses, you might actually want to go back to the basics and build your concepts and try revisiting your formula book for the chapters wherein you feel very weak basis your mock analysis. That's all. This is a very simple month. In the next 2 months or 3 months, that's September, October, November, these are also the months that change the game a big time. This is the time when you need to keep yourself motivated because the results actually take some time to show up. So this is a time when you need to practice questions going further and take ample number of mocks to actually get used to the type of questions that appear in the CAT exam. This is broadly how the 4 phases look like. Now I can make separate section wise videos for you as well, as in what should be your focus for the different sections and a couple of strategies for this first phase, that is April-May. How can you deal with every single chapter going forward? But I would love if you could give me your feedback on what are some questions that are bothering you at the moment. I would love to address them in the couple of videos that are gonna come. Let's make sure that we keep talking about the CAT exam as well as the MBA space every week on this channel so that you can keep your studies as well as your CAT preparation streamlined. Thank you so much for watching this video. Wishing you the best.